Today we are going to start the new topic, influence line diagrams for arches. Now before moving on to this topic, let us first understand the term influence line diagrams. With the help of a simple example, we will go through this definition, but let us try to understand with the help of a simple example. So in this example, I have considered a simply supported beam AB of span 3 meters. On this span, a unit rolling load is moving from A support to the B support. See, a rolling load is the load which moves from one end to the other end of the beam. And in this case, we have considered a rolling load having a magnitude of 1. Now, that magnitude can be 1 Newton, 1 kilonewton, or anything else, but the magnitude is 1. Okay. So now we will try to find the values of Ra and Rb for the first case in which the rolling load is at the support A. So in this case, we have considered that the load is at support A. Now for this condition, we will now find out the values of Ra and Rb. So in order to find out the values of Ra and Rb, we will apply the equilibrium equations. So first equation is summation of all the vertical forces is equal to 0. So total upward force is equal to total downward force. So total upward force is Ra plus Rb and total downward is 1. So Ra plus Rb equal to 1. Now take it as equation number 1. Now summation of moment about A point equal to 0. Now if you will see here, this one load and this Ra are acting at support A, therefore the moment will be 0. Now the moment due to Rb will be 3 into Rb into 3, that is the perpendicular distance. Now this equal to 0, so the value of Rb will come out to be 0. Now put the value of Rb in equation number 1, the value of Ra will come out to be 1. Now let us consider the second case in which the rolling load has now reached at a distance 1 meter from A support. Now for this condition, again find out the values of Ra and Rb by using equilibrium equations. So summation of all the vertical forces is equal to 0. So total upward force is equal to total downward force, that is Ra plus Rb equal to 1. Now take the summation of bending moment about A point equal to 0. Now if you see in this diagram, this one load will take A point in the clockwise direction, that is, it will produce a clockwise bending moment about A point. For clockwise, we are going to take as positive, and for anti-clockwise, we are going to take as a negative. So plus force is 1 and the perpendicular distance is also 1, so 1 into 1. Now the second force is Rb and the perpendicular distance is 3. So this Rb is acting in the upward direction, therefore this Rb will produce an anti-clockwise bending moment about A point. And for anti-clockwise, we are going to take as negative. So force is Rb and the perpendicular distance is 3. So minus 3 Rb is equal to 0. So solving this equation, the value of Rb will come out to be 1 by 3. Now put the value of Rb in equation number 1. The value of Ra will come out to be 2 by 3. So for this condition, the values of Ra and Rb are now calculated. Now let us consider the next case in which the rolling load has now reached at a distance of 2 meters from A support. Okay. Now for this condition, again find out the values of Ra and Rb from equilibrium equations, and the value of Ra and Rb will come out to be 1 by 3 and 2 by 3 respectively. See, the same procedure will be followed while calculating the values of Ra and Rb. So I am not going to explain this procedure. Now let us consider the fourth case in which the load has now reached the support B. Now for this condition, let us find out the value of Ra and Rb. So the value of Ra will come out to be 0 and the value of Rb will come out to be 1. So for these four different conditions, we have now found out the values of Ra and Rb. Now let us plot these values. Okay. So let us first plot the values of Ra. So this is your beam AB having total span 3 meters. And when the load was at A, okay, now let us consider this first case, that when the rolling load was at A support, the value of Ra came out to be 1. So plot this ordinate as 1. For the second case, when the rolling load is at a distance of 1 meters from the left support, the ordinate came out to be 2 by 3. So at this point, plot an ordinate 2 by 3. And for the third case, the value of Ra came out to be 1 by 3rd. So plot this value as 1 by 3, and in the fourth case, when the rolling load reached at point B, the value of Ra came out to be 0, so at B plot 0. Now join all these points by a straight line. Okay, if see, now this diagram which we get by plotting these values is known as the influence line diagram. Now if you see this diagram shows the variation of Ra, that is the reaction at A point or A support, when a unit rolling load moves from one end to the other end of the beam. So an influence line diagram is, see, now let's come to the definition. So an influence line diagram is a curve or graph that represents a function. Now that function can be a reaction at the support, the shear force at a section, the bending moment at a section, etc. for various positions of a unit load on the span of a structure. Okay, so influence line diagram is a graph or curve, you can say that, it which represents the function. Now that function can be the support reactions, the bending moment at a section, or the shear force at a section when a unit load moves from one end to the other end. So this is the ILD for Ra, and this diagram is showing the variation of Ra. See, now how do we interpret the result? See, this diagram shows that when the load was at support A, the value of the reaction was maximum, and when the load started to move away from the A support, the value of Ra starts to reduce, and when the load reached at support B, the value of Ra became 0. So this is the ILD for Ra. Now let us plot the ILD for Rv. So when the unit load was at A support, the value of Rb came out to be 0. So plot this point here. For the second case, the value of Rb was 1 by 3. So at a distance of 1 meter, plot a point, plot an ordinate at a height of 1 by 3. And for the third case, that is when the unit load was at a distance of 2 meters from the A support, the value of Rb came out to be 2 by 3. Therefore, plot an ordinate of 2 by 3. And for the last case, the value of Rb came out to be 1. Therefore, at B, plot an ordinate as 1. Now join all these points by a straight line. So the diagram which we get is the ILD for Rb. Now this ILD for Rb represents the variation of Rb when the unit load moves from A support towards the B support. Now how to interpret the results from this diagram? See, when the unit load was at A support, the value of the reaction at support B, that is Rb, is 0. Now as the unit load starts to move from A support towards the B support, the value of Rb started to increase, and when the unit load reached at support B, the value of Rb became maximum, that is 1. So this is your ILD for Rb. Now let us understand the various uses of an ILD. That why are we drawing an ILD? What is the use of an influence line diagram? So the first use of an influence line diagram is to determine the value of the quantity for a given system of loads. It means you can find out the value of the support reactions, you can find out the values of the bending moment, or you can find out the values of the shear force for any type of load which is acting on the beam. See, by using ILD, you don't have to apply all the equilibrium equations, you don't have to solve the equations, you just have to draw the ILD and then do the calculations of the ILD and get the result. See, now we will see that how do we calculate the results using an ILD. So the first use was to determine the value of the quantity for a given system of loads. So let us first consider an example of a simply supported beam on which these loads are acting: 100 kilonewton, 50 kilonewtons and 200 kilonewtons. Now for this type of loading, we now have to find out the value of Rb. See, we have to find out the value of Rb, so we will draw the ILD for Rb. So this is the ILD for Rb, we know that. Now, in order to find out the values of Rb, find out the values of the ordinate under these loads. Okay, see, there are 3-point loads: 100 kilonewton, 50 and 200 kilonewton. So find out the value of this ordinate. See, the value of this ordinate under 100 kilonewton, find the value of this ordinate under 50 kilonewton, and find out the value of this ordinate under 200 kilonewtons. Now we have to find out these ordinates, these heights. Okay, so see, now let me explain you that how to find this ordinate. So we can find out this ordinate by using uh, similar triangle properties. Now if you see here, there is this bigger triangle. Suppose this is O point. So this is your bigger triangle ABO. Now the perpendicular of this bigger triangle, which is 1, this divided by the base of this bigger triangle, which is 10. So 1 by 10, this equal to, if you will see here, this is your another triangle. So we have to find out the perpendicular of this triangle. So suppose the perpendicular is x. So perpendicular of the smaller triangle divided by the base of the smaller triangle. So the base of the smaller triangle is 2 meters. So this is the property of the similar triangle which we are going to use. Okay, the perpendicular of the bigger triangle divided by the base of the bigger triangle equal to the perpendicular of the smaller triangle divided by the base of the smaller triangle. So after solving this, we will get the value of this ordinate as 2 by 10. Okay, so now we will find out the value of this ordinate again by similar triangles. Okay, so 1 by 10 into, see, just remember that this bigger triangle, okay, the perpendicular of the bigger triangle divided by the base of the triangle into the distance of that ordinate from the A support. So you just have to do this much calculation, you will get the value of the ordinate. Okay, see, you can apply a similar triangle property, or you can just remember this formula, that the perpendicular of the bigger triangle divided by the base of the bigger triangle into the distance of that ordinate from the left support. So from left support or the right support. Okay, see, you have to take the distance of the ordinate from the apex point. Okay, so the apex of this triangle is at A, and that's why we have taken 4. So this ordinate will be 4 by 10, and this ordinate will be 1 by 10 into the distance of the ordinate from the apex point is A point, that is 7. So 7 by 10. See, now in order to find out the values of RB, you just have to multiply the loads with the ordinates under the loads. So load is 100. So first load is 100, and the ordinate under 100 kilonewton load is 2 by 10. So 100 into 2 by 10 plus the second load is 50, and the ordinate under 50 kilonewton load is 4 by 10. So 50 into 4 by 10 plus 200 into 7 by 10. So adding all these product values, we can get the total value of the RB. So this is how we calculate the values of different functions, that is the reactions or bending moment or shear force. Okay? So in this example, we considered point load. Now let us consider that how do we find out the values of in different functions or different quantities when there is a UDL. See, when there is a point load, you just multiply the load with the ordinate. Now when there is a UDL, you just have to multiply the UDL with the area covered by the UDL. Okay, so this is the second case. Now in this case also we have to find out the values of RB. So see, find out the value of the ordinate at C point and at D point, and that is the starting and end point of the UDL. Okay, so this ordinate will come out to be C. Again, now apply similar triangle. This ordinate is inside this larger triangle. So the perpendicular of this larger or bigger triangle divided by the base of this bigger triangle. So 1 by 9. This into the distance of this ordinate from the apex point, which is 1. So 1 by 9 into 1 will give you 1 by 9, and this ordinate will be 1 by 9 into distance of this ordinate from this apex point, which is 5. So 1 by 9 into 5. So this will give you 5 by 9. Now in order to calculate the value of RB, just multiply the UDL with the area covered by the UDL. Now if you see, this UDL is covering a trapezoidal area. So this UDL, which is 60 into the area of the trapezium, which is half sum of the parallel sides into height of the trapezium. So this will give you the total reaction at B. So the intensity of load is 60, and the area of this trapezium will be half. Sum of parallel sides will be 1 by 9 plus 5 by 9, and the height of this trapezium is 4 meters. So this will give you RB as 80 kilonewtons. So you just have to keep one thing in mind, that for the point loads you have to multiply the load with the ordinate under the load, and for the UDL you have to multiply the UDL with the area covered by the UDL in order to get the values. Okay. Now the second use of the ILD is to determine the position of a live load for the quantity to have the maximum value, and hence compute the maximum value of the quantity. See, this point means that suppose we have to find out that what will be the maximum value of RB, okay, and that what will be the position of the load such that the value of RB is maximum, and what is the maximum value of RB for that position of load. Now see, now let us try to understand this point with the help of an example. So suppose this is your simply supported beam AB of span 16 meters. On this AB, there is a UDL of 80 kilonewton per meter and 4 meter span, which is moving from A support to the B support. Now you have to find out the value of the maximum vertical reaction at B, that is you have to find out the value of maximum RB. Okay, see, now when this UDL, now from the first point we came to know that the reaction or the value of any stress resultant is equal to UDL into the area covered by the UDL. Now you only imagine that if this UDL is here, okay, if this UDL is here, okay, then the area covered by the UDL is very small. So the value of the reaction, that is RB, will also be small. Suppose the UDL move to here. So the area covered by this UDL will now increase. Now it is evident from this diagram, when the UDL, when the head of the UDL will be at point B, maximum area of this diagram will be covered. Now since the area of the ILD diagram will be maximum, the value of RB will be maximum. So RB will be maximum when the head of the UDL is at point B, and because when the head of the UDL is at point B, the area under the UDL will be maximum. Now the maximum value of RB will be equal to UDL into the area covered by the UDL. Now in order to calculate this area, first we will have to find out the ordinate, this ordinate. So again, by using similar triangle, so perpendicular of bigger triangle divided by the base of bigger triangle, so 1 by 16 into the distance of the ordinate from the apex point, which is 12. So 1 by 16 into 12, this will give you 3 by 4. So the area of this trapezium will be this, half sum of parallel sides into height of this trapezium is 4. Now into the UDL will give you the value of the maximum RB, which will come out to be 280 kilonewtons. Now in the next lecture we will understand that how to draw the ILD for horizontal thrust, the bending moment at a section, and the shear force at a section for a 3-hinged arch.